Hey folks, day 2 of practice for the Walmart FLW Tour on Lake Okeechobee. I'm joined by the one and only Bryan Thrift. Bryan, you went up north the first day, spent some time down south on day 2. How's it shaping up?
It's a lot tougher than I thought it would be. I figured the warm weather we're having would really have more big fish up and they'd be just on fire. I was kind of hoping it would be like it was a couple years ago when it took 100 pounds to win, but
yeah,
I haven't seen that. I'm sure there's some guys catching a lot of big fish, but I have in no way, shape, or form found what I'm looking for yet.
All right, well, you've got one more day to do it. Do you know what you're going to do with your final day of practice?
Yeah, I know there's a couple areas I haven't been to, just kind of in between where I went yesterday and today. I'm going to go look at that.
Okay.
And there's not a lot of clean water out. I figured there would be
Really?
a lot of clean water, but I guess they had a lot of wind a couple weeks ago and it just trashed a lot of stuff. I know the water's a lot higher. It doesn't even look like the same lake it did in the Costa tournament a couple weeks ago.
What you have found, I mean, I know you're catching some fish. You're Bryan Thrift. You're catching some fish. Do you feel like any of the areas have potential to get better as this warming trend continues, or do you still feel like you're kind of just actually looking for the thing?
I'm kind of still looking for the thing. I mean, there's a couple areas I feel like have potential to maybe get better. They can't get worse.
All right.
So they gotta have potential to get better.
Okay. Well, I suppose that's about as good as you can do if you're not doing good. So, man, I hope the final day of practice is good for you. Do you know which direction you're going yet?
I'm probably gonna go up toward the Harney Pond area. I hadn't spent a lot of time around there, and historically 95% of the tournaments on this lake are won there, so I'm gonna get in the mix.
It's a good place for you to go throw a chatterbait, right?
Yeah, chatterbait don't really seem to matter. That's just where they tend to live, I guess.
All right. Well, good luck up north tomorrow, and thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank y'all.
All right, next up, Jason Lambert, winner of the Costa FLW Series a couple weeks ago here. Got him dialed in again. You gonna win this thing? Go 2 in a row in Okeechobee?
Well, I can say the same thing now I could say before that tournament, as I had no clue that I was going to win. But the weather helped us a lot that week, you know, for the pattern that I was fishing. I never caught a big bag in practice, and it just worked out that consistency played out. But, you know, this week's a lot different. I mean, this water's up 2 feet, and, you know, in practice in, you could catch, you know, 15, 20, 30 fish a day sometimes, and that's not been the case the last 2 days. But I don't know. I mean, it's hard not to have some confidence on a lake you just done well at 2 weeks ago, but I mean, this is Okeechobee. It can hurt your feelings quick.
Do you feel like, you know, with the water coming up and with the weather, I don't know that you can say the weather has advanced a whole lot. I mean, I guess the water temperature is probably a little warmer, but do you feel like the fish are in roughly the same type places? Have they moved back further into stuff? What's going on there?
Well, I can tell you this, that I know for a fact they're not in some of the same places, because my 2 best areas I had here for the Costa are basically useless because of water color this week.
All right.
There's so much water that's came into the lake, and they're moving water out of here so fast that there's a lot of dirty water moving around. So I think that's really hurting a lot of the areas. These Florida fish like clean water to eat, and it's not. There's some places it's not really clean, but the other difference is just it's 1.5 feet higher. I mean, you know, where we were catching them, you know, 4 feet deep, 5 feet deep 2 weeks ago, now it's 6 feet deep. So I don't know enough about this place to adjust to that. So we're just kind of winging it right now.
Okay. Now, when you're going around and you get to an area that has dirty water, I guess, is there a level where you'll still fish it if it's got a little stain to it, or do you sometimes just pull up and say, I can't fish this?
Well, actually yesterday I pulled into an area and Ramey Colson was there, and a pretty good ways away from me, and I literally walked up on the front deck and I looked down at the water and I jumped back down in the seat and I left, and a little while later he asked me, so well, what'd you do, catch one and mark it? I said, no, but I just don't feel comfortable fishing dirty water in Florida. I mean, these local guys that know these areas a lot better than we do, they may fish a lot of dirty water, but I just don't have the confidence fishing dirty water, so I usually try to pull out of it.
Okay. The high water, have you made any adjustments to that, location type wise or just bait wise even?
Not really. I mean, I'm just kind of still, I'm fishing a certain pattern and I'm just looking for that pattern, and if it's, you know, if it's 4 feet or 6 feet, I mean, like I said, I don't know enough about this lake to adjust to it. I don't know where they go. I mean, I have found one little school of fish that seems like they were in one spot and now they're in another spot. I think it's maybe some of the same fish I caught a couple weeks ago, but I'm not sure. I'm just covering water trying to come up with something for Thursday.
Well, I tell you what, you just won here, so you're at least covering water, knowing you just won.
True.
Knowing, you've got the good vibes going. Which
I'm confident in what I'm doing. I'm very confident in what I'm doing. I just don't know, again, I don't know what I can catch. I don't know how many fish I can catch. I know the numbers are way down this week from what they were 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, yeah, it feels good to go fishing somewhere after you just won there, but we've had a lot of change, so I don't know. We'll see what goes on Thursday.
All right. Well, Jason, thanks for stopping by, and
man.
good luck.
Thank you.
Up next, Glenn Browne, second place at the Costa FLW Series event a couple weeks ago. Glenn, you understand Florida. You understand Florida fish. You say you maybe don't know as much about Okeechobee as we think you do, but you know a fair amount about Okeechobee. What's your adjustment to this high water?
I've just kind of bounced back and forth trying to move around and find, I've had to find all new stuff. Where I caught them in the Costa, it's gone. It's, I caught them in matted out hydrilla and matted stuff, and it's gone. It's blown away. I don't even know where it's gone to. So I've had to make some adjustment. I've had to look for a little bit different cover. I've kind of moved it in a little bit, because the water's like 2 feet higher. So I've kind of tried to stay in the same depth range that I caught them in before. And that seems like that's working out okay. This warm weather kind of scares me a little bit. I'd like to see it stay cold. Because I'm worried about the fish, actually moving out and trying to spawn, and there's some of that going on. I've seen a lot of little ones on the bed. I haven't seen any good ones. So it's just going to be a kind of wait and see deal. The day off makes me nervous. I dislike the day off because I think you lose touch a little bit with what's going on. Because I've seen it happen on this lake in particular, where the bite was kind of mediocre, and on that day off, and it's going to be another 80-degree day, and all of a sudden it goes bananas. You pull up the first day thinking, oh, you might gonna catch 12 pounds or something. Before you know it, you got 20 pounds in the bag, and you come in feeling like you did good with 20 pounds, and so doesn't everybody else. I mean, there was one year in 2011, I think I had 23 pounds, was in like 25th or 30th or something. I don't think it's going to be that good, but it's going to be decent.
You think there's a chance that the switch gets flipped somewhere over these next couple days here?
It's possible. I don't think it's going to be like it was. I think that was 2011. I don't think it's going to be like that.
All right.
But I think it's going to be, you're going to see some good fish. It's going to be a lot better than the Costa. You're going to see, what was there, 2 20-pound bags? There'll be several 20-pound bags. I don't think, I'm thinking that check range is going to be somewhere in that 13-ish pound a day range, maybe give or take. But it's going to be around there.
Now, I don't usually talk technique too much in these, and if you don't want to, I understand. But I know that you love to flip. Is that the first thing on your list, or are you branching out around and trying some other things?
I've done some other things. That's still going to be high priority. But I've got a few other things working. I might actually cast, as much as I hate to say that, a little bit.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Now,
I had to learn that today.
Well, how did it go? Did you get any backlashes?
No, I got those nice loose reels, so no problems there.
There you go. Last question. We've got some weather coming in where it's gonna get significantly colder during the tournament, but maybe not super cold at night. How do you feel that'll affect it once game day arrives?
What I like is I know there's supposed to be some wind and stuff associated with it. I don't know that the cold will do a whole lot, but the wind can throw people off their game.
And you like that.
If you're looking at them and whatnot, it'll be harder to see. It might dirty some water, so then you'll kind of have to know when the wind blows what direction, where you need to go. And that's, I've got some history and had that happen and seen that before. So, guys like me and Scott Martin who live here, those guys will have a little bit of an advantage when that wind comes in and places to go to get out of it and find the clear water.
All right. Well, Glenn, thanks for stopping by, and man, good luck tomorrow on the final day of practice, and of course, good luck once this thing rolls around.
I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun.
Redemption time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks.